So, hello everybody. I think I'll start. Those who could not join, they will follow the video that I will record it, so they can actually get it. Okay. Now, last time we talked about, we said that corporate financing in Islamic finance have got some special products for the corporations, for the big firms, not the retail product, like the wholesale product thing. We said there are Islamic bank guarantee, Islamic letter of credit, Islamic corporate finance, working capital finance, syndicate financing, and Islamic current account. And we already talked about the Islamic bank guarantee, and we said there are two types. One is wakala, the other one kafala. And kafala by our fee is not allowed. However, there are some jurists, some scholars, they let to be penetrated into market. So still, so we're gonna proceed with the Islamic letter of credit. So we said there are four types of Islamic letter of credit. One is murabaha letter of credit, the other one wakala murabaha letter of credit. Third one is musharaka based letter of credit, and the last one is the cash based letter of credit. For you to remind what was the letter of credit, if you forgot, is just if you want to, if you're a customer and you want to import a certain product, let's say from China. Can you hear my voice? Is it good or bad? Shall I talk?
Yes.
Good.
Good. Okay.
Okay. Now, talking about the letter of credit, we said there are two types. If you're a customer, and you want to import a goods from, let's say, Europe or from China, it doesn't matter from one country, but the matter is you already agreed, but you cannot go and again and purchase the goods and bring it yourself, like load the products, and there are many reasons that you cannot do it yourself, and you want to bring it from abroad. So what is done in LC, a regular LC, a customer contacts the bank, okay? So this is bank. So it contacts the bank. Then the bank contacts beneficiary bank, which is located in the country that the customer would like to import the products from. It's a beneficiary one. And we have, of course, exporter, the person who exports the product itself, or seller of the product. And the seller and the importer, they sometimes they might not know each other. They already got into contact in the internet. They realize, okay, we're gonna make a trading. So we want to bring the products from abroad to Kazakhstan, let's say. So customer, he gets in contact with the local bank, request for a letter of credit. That local bank will get in touch with the beneficiary bank. And from that, beneficiary banks will give a kind of guarantee that the customer is represented by bank is okay. There is no problem with that. So you can trust, you can send the product. So what happens? The customer, the exporter sells the goods, ships the goods. He transfers the goods with a document, okay? So these goods are shipped to the customer. However, the bank should receive the documentation first, the local bank. So the exporter gives to the beneficiary bank the documentation of the shipped goods. That the beneficiary bank transfers the documentation, this consignment, bill of lading, and etc. So the bank checks everything, whether everything is correct, documental. If everything is perfect, and the goods when they arrive, the bank like checks everything that suits to the documentation that has been sent by the beneficiary bank, then the bank makes a payment, or the customer makes a payment through the bank, that the bank pays the beneficiary bank and the exporter withdraws the money from the beneficiary bank. Or if the exporter has got the account, the beneficiary bank transfers the money from main account to the exporter's account. This is how the letter of credit works basically, actually. So, and Islamic banking, to respond to the requirements by the modern world, try to respond with the different types of letter of credit. We know that in Islamic finance, it's not allowed to be an agent. Like the merit in Islamic banking and finance is that if you're selling something, you should be the owner of that product. You should get the full ownership of that product. Then you can resell it, and then you can make some trading on it. Just being an agent and to act on the behalf of something, it's not allowed by majority of the scholars. So coming to the Murabaha letter of credit, you know what is the Murabaha itself? Murabaha is a cost plus financing. How it works in here? Islamic bank, first of all, he acts himself as an owner of the product. Islamic bank will import the goods from the exporter. Islamic bank will get in touch with the exporter through the beneficiary bank, do all these LC procedures, letter of credit procedures, and as the promise by the customer, the goods, like how it has been decided which products and what type of quality and in what quantity it should be imported, the customer gives the order to the Islamic bank. But the Islamic bank, it uses its own financing. It buys by himself everything from the abroad. He brings the products himself. When the documentations arrived and the goods arrived, he checks everything with all conditions, all futures that have been mentioned in the contract are consistent with the arrived product. If everything is okay, the Islamic banks get the possession itself. And what are the documents? Mainly are commercial invoices and bill of lading. And once everything is done, Islamic bank pays full amount of the products that has been paid, should be paid to the beneficiary bank for the imported goods. And then this imported goods is once on the possession of bank, the Islamic bank has got the right to resell it to the customer. The customer buys the product based on the Murabaha sale agreement, where we know it's a cost plus financing. It is a deferred payment or it is lump sum in the future. So lump sum, it's like in one installment he will pay in after 1 year. So this is how the Murabaha letter of credit works. So I have a question in here before we proceed. What do you think, guys? What is the risk from the customer to buy from the exporter without involving the banks, like Islamic bank itself, or it can be any bank? What is the risk it faces, the importer faces? When the importer, yes.
Default risk.
Or risk of when the not getting high quality goods, maybe.
Execution risk.
Just not get the goods, just like he will send the money, and on the other side in China, like he will refuse to send it back.
So the main risk is being to be deceived. to be like fall into fault by the exporter, like misconduct by the, or it's not only the case of the importer. We should consider the exporter as well. The exporter may do all the best thing that he can do it with a good quality, with the condition of the product, the quantity, everything is okay. But the problem of receiving the money, like the first person who mentioned about the default, like he may not receive the money. So that's why both parties, exporter and the importers, they are involving the banks. One of them is beneficiary, the other one, the local bank that is getting in touch with. Okay, coming to Wakala Murabaha, still this contract is eventually based on Murabaha, but it is performed through the Wakala. Wakala account, we know that the all customer, when they open the Wakala account, and the Islamic bank can use the Wakala's, the customer's money to buy something and bring to the customer. So in here is the same thing. The customer has got the account in his in the Islamic bank in his country. He opens the account, he puts the money, let's say 200,000 bucks. However, the Islamic bank does not use the account, but he just block the money until he buys the product. He performs, he is an agent. Okay, guys. He does the bringing the goods from abroad to the local customer by being an agent. However, majority of the scholars, they are not allowed to do this. Like they're saying, because you are bringing and you're acting an agent, but you're not possessing fully the product itself. But there are some scholars who allow this. They say, anyway, there is an account, Wakala account, and it is used as a block amount. The Islamic bank, he just used the money of the customer to bring those products from abroad. So there's some contradiction, but there you can see it in some banks. They have like Wakala Murabaha letter of credit based. The other one has, they don't have it because maybe they decided to just follow those scholars who did not allow to use this Wakala Murabaha letter of credit based. Any questions? Okay. How many people signed in? 16. Like, I've got one question here. Let me open the chat so that I can see it. Okay. Okay. So far we had Murabaha and the Wakala Murabaha letter of credit based. Now there is another type of letter of credit which is based on the Musharaka, and from the terminology we know what is the Musharaka itself. Musharaka letter of credit is sharing the profit, is sharing like two parties or more than two parties. They're all investing a certain capital to do a business, to run this specific project. But when it comes to the letter of credit, Musharaka, the customer may have some money in his hands. Let's say he may have 20% of the money, but unfortunately this money is not enough to bring the products. However, he gets in contact with the Islamic banks and asks the Islamic bank to finance this activity, bringing the products or services from abroad to his country and trying to help with be transparent in his activity. So let's say Islamic bank is financing for 80%. So the same procedure, Islamic bank get in contact with beneficiary bank, and beneficiary banks is in touch with the exporter. They're all four parties are connected to each other, but with one condition in here, guys. In Musharaka, as the name is, it suggests, it's a ratio shareable activity where we have importer as customer and the Islamic bank. So importer or the customer and the Islamic bank, they make an agreement that they will be a partner in this business. So they will bring the product and they will share the profit. The importer says, look, I have only, let's say, 200,000 bucks in my hands. But I need to have 800,000 more because the goods I would like to import, the cost of it is equal to 1 million. So in total, they will have 1 million. Is it 1 million? Yes. It's more than 1 million. It's 10 million. Okay. So $1 million, the price of the goods that should be paid to the exporter to bring those products from the abroad. So importer asked the Islamic bank to finance 80%. So in here, they act as a partner, not like a business, sorry, the bank and the customer, the bank he'll buy or something. So if they buy together, but the ownership of this product belongs to Islamic bank, let's say 80%, and importer ownership belongs to 20%. However, this is the idea of the importer, and the importer is the one who will get the product in here, and he is the one who will realize the product. And they agree that the profit ratio will be shared if once the product is arrived into the country and the customer or the importer gets that product and realize it, sells it in the local market, the generated profit, the realized profit will be shared 70 to 30. 70% of the profit will go to importer and 30% will go to Islamic bank. So the rest of the money will be left with its owners. Like 20% what was invested will go to importer and 80% will go to the Islamic bank. So this is how it works through the musharaka, based letter of credit. Do you have any questions?
No questions.
Okay.
Is it one question? Sorry. In Musharaka letter of credit, in case of loss, is it gonna be by the amount of capital they invested, like importer and Islamic bank, or not? Is the same as in Musharaka contract?
In here, they do not provide any deferred payment. In Musharaka, they act as a partner. They do the business. Who is doing the business? Who is the managing business? In here, Islamic bank is acting like a passive investor or silent investor who is not involved in the management. He's just contributed capital. He receives his profit, let's say like minor profit, which is 30%. And what is left, the majority of profit will go to the partner, which is the active one, which is the importer or customer at the same time of the program. And it should be
But in
noted,
case of loss,
should be noted when letter of credit is opened with the beneficiary bank, it is opened on the name of Islamic bank. And you have one more question? Yes.
about loss, what if they occur loss?
If
I mean,
the same rules, the same regulations is applied. If the loss is shared, how much money was invested? So the Islamic bank will lose 80%, and what else? The customer, the importer, will lose 20% of it.
okay, yeah, that was my question. Thank you.
Okay. Any question, guys?
No.
Okay. So the fourth type of cash-based letter of credit, it is directly involving the cash. It is the way you know how the letter of credit is working is directly they're involving cash. The customer or the importer is coming with the 100% of money. They're just investing and asking the Islamic bank to be a customer's agent, to play a role in controlling this transaction, like to make more transparent, to provide more transparency on this business transaction against of different types of defaults or deceptions that may happen due to the the exporters misconduct or importers misconduct, we can say. So in here the diagram is given. We can see that the customer applies to Islamic bank, and by the way, I just forgot to mention that Islamic banks may ask, it's not obligation, but may ask kind of security deposit, so that the customer will not withdraw his willingness to proceed the contract when they have started. So that Islamic bank doesn't want to put himself into that position before the beneficiary bank or before the exporter with the different countries. So he asks for security deposit. So Islamic banks, the customer promised to purchase the goods from Islamic banks. This is murabaha based, basically. We know that two types of this LC is working and based on murabaha. So what happens next? Once they get the promise to buy the goods from Islamic bank and gives some security deposits, he gets in contact with the beneficiary and the exporter, where the beneficiary sends all the quotation that are needed to receive the products, and Islamic banks directly deals with the exporter. The customer doesn't know who is the exporter, and the Islamic bank is the one who is getting involved with the customer's relation. So he gets all the notation, all the specifications for the goods that will be imported, and after that he gets in contact with the beneficiary. That beneficiary gets in touch with the importer, try to see all the documentations of the goods that are about to be exported to the importer's country are being checked and being endorsed by beneficiary bank. And after that, this documentation is transferred to Islamic bank. Then Islamic bank receives, sometimes it happens that the products are delivered before the documentation comes, or it can happen they come at the same time. So documentation received, he checks all and controls all the documentations, and if everything is okay, he tries to see the consistency of the goods that are being imported into the country. If everything's okay, then he pays it. The payment is happened, and the payment is the last thing that happens here. Once the payment is done with the beneficiary bank, and the beneficiary bank pays to the exporter. This is how it works.
One question.
Yes.
Sorry, so in cash-based letter of credit, delivery of goods is made between exporter and Islamic bank, not between exporter and customer, right?
Yes.
Okay.
The customer just uses the Islamic bank to control the documentations and help with the transfer of money to the beneficiary account. But the customer knows the exporter.
Customer knows, but the delivery will, like physical delivery of goods, will be made to the bank, and then the bank delivers to customer, or
No,
exporter
to the customer,
delivers to.
directly to the customer, but the bank only checks the documentations.
Ah, okay. Okay, thank you.
Okay. So the mechanics of the Islamic letter of credit based on the murabaha, as we discussed, like the customer promised to buy the specific goods on murabaha from the Islamic bank. If the Islamic bank purchase those goods from the supplier and take the possession thereof. And second is Islamic bank may ask the customer to make hamish jizya. So what is the hamish jizya, guys?
Deposit?
Yeah, security deposit, which then later converted into down payment of the murabaha, sale of execution. So it can be withdrawn, but most of the cases they convert into as a down payment for the murabaha base. The remaining part will be deferred payment for the future. The Islamic bank then established the LC on its behalf to the name of the exporter and sent the beneficiary bank. Then the supplier forwards the shipping documents of imported goods to the beneficiary bank. As I told you, sometimes the goods, they are delivered earlier than the documents that have been shipped. So the beneficiary bank shipping the documents for imported goods to the Islamic bank, and the customer ships the goods to the Islamic bank. After receiving the all documentation, if the documents came first, then Islamic bank checks everything. If it comes everything in order, he checks the documents, then checks the goods that has been received. On the due date, Islamic bank pays the cost price to the beneficiary bank, and the beneficiary pays the amount so received from Islamic bank to the exporter, and the customer makes deferred payment to the Islamic bank in future installments, or it can be the lump sum in the future as well. And this contract is based, of course, on murabaha sale. Here's an example. Cost of goods is $200,000. There is no down payment from the customer. Like the Islamic bank didn't ask any security deposits from the customer. The financing amount will be for 100% by the Islamic bank. The Islamic bank is going to finance for 100%. And profit margin in here, it's a fixed rate because they have to show what is the cost and what is the plus financing, how much money will be as a financing, as a profit. So they mentioned at the beginning, like this is the condition of the murabaha, cost plus financing. The term financing of 36 months. So the total profit amount that the bank is going to receive is $30,000 plus the cost of it. In total, murabaha sale price should be paid to the bank by the customer should be equal to 230,000. So the installment amount is 6,420, the first of last installment amount, and monthly installment that he's going to pay is 6,388, and cost portion of installment, if you separate like cost and profit from each other, it will be 5,550, and the profit will be 833. They're all monthly based installments. This is murabaha letter of credit. Coming to musharaka, how the musharaka works. So customers importer investments decided to, he has $200,000 in his hand. In the example that I gave you before, Islamic bank's investment is 800,000, and total investment is 1 million. And profit sharing ratio would be 75 to 25. Like 75% will get the customer, the importer, and 25% will get the total invest, the Islamic bank. Like, so the total value of asset is 1 million. Here we say the expected profit margin. It is 100,000. It's 10%. We know that in musharaka we cannot charge a fixed rate. That's why we say expectation. However, there are the cases that you are sure that this much profit you're gonna make it. How is it possible? Do you have any ideas in trading? Imagine you are bringing the goods from abroad and you want to sell it in here.
And
Yes, Azamat?
oh, it's Alnur.
Oh,
What's
sorry,
the
Alnur.
It's okay.
The question is that, Alnur, how can you be, we know that in Islamic banking there are some you cannot put a fixed profit, but there are some cases that when you trade with the goods that you can be sure how much profit you're gonna make from selling the goods. What could be those examples? Do you have any idea in your mind what kind of example you can give it?
Car and automobiles.
Let's say cars, okay? You have 10 cars. Each price of the car, the cost of the car is $100,000. So in total, you're gonna pay 1 million to bring it. 1 million. So your profit from each car that you're bringing here to your country, 10 cars that you want to sell it, you will sell it for $110,000 in your country. You're already agreed with the potential buyers. With the 10 buyers, you already found it, and they will buy it from you, the 10 cars with $110,000. So in total, you will have a net profit of $100,000 net profit. And this net profit that you realized it should be shared between you and Islamic Bank. The Islamic Bank will get $25,000 and you will get, as an importer, $75,000. Okay, do you have any questions?
Yes, I do. For instance, in this case, the profit is like fixed. I mean, you know, right ahead
Yeah.
of time that you're gonna
Yeah.
get this amount as a profit. So does the customer has to pay this in advance to Islamic Bank, like the amount?
No. The money is paid on the delivery of the product, and it is paid when the products are realized and sold. And one difference here, when we say the profit is fixed, it does not necessarily mean we should make a differentiation that the profit is fixed based on the product, not based on the money. Okay?
Okay. So in case if we realize the product and we got 900 or 90, no, yeah, $90,000,
the loss,
we will.
yeah, the loss will be shared. The loss will be shared.
Okay.
The loss will be shared.
John, I also have a question.
Yes.
So let's assume that we have another example. I mean, the same as here, but we have not a fixed ratio. We have a profit, expected profit margin. So which is, for example, is 10%. So what if we get higher than expected? Will we?
So look, when you put the 10%, this is, you just put it now in real example, when you realize it more than what you have expected, that realized profit should be shared pro rata that you have agreed before signing the contract. If you agree the profit will be shared 25 to 25, that's it. It will be shared. This ratio will be based on the actual profit that has been realized, not on the expected profit that you have put it on the paper.
Okay. Because I read yesterday, I read terms of Mudaraba and Wakala, and there was some kind of a moment like that when they
because the case of being a partner, the subject matter in here is what you're a partner. So whatever you face, you will share it, if it's a loss, if it's a profit.
Okay, I got it. So it's on realized. Probably, yeah, I got it. Thank you.
Okay.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, please.
What in case if like there is even like maybe like loss, so it will be shared according to a profit loss ratio?
Yes, 75% will be shared the loss by importer and 25% will be shared by Islamic Bank.
In case of like initial cost, if initial cost of these 10 cars will increase, so like there's demand in additional investment, how it will be shared?
It's a very good question. It should be negotiated, and most probably, as we can see from the condition that the importer has got only 200,000 bucks in his account, most probably the Islamic Bank is going to make this additional amount. And by making this additional amount, most probably the profit share will change for Islamic Bank as well.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry, one clarification. about the share loss. Here, the proportion of capital that they're investing is 20 to 80%. And won't they share the loss according to the capital investment that they're investing? I mean, the money that they're investing?
No. They will share for the Let's get an example in here, guys. It's better. So we have, let's say, 1 million invested in total. And we know that 200,000 was invested by customer and 800,000 was invested by Islamic Bank. And let's say, while bringing the product, they lost all of the money. Not all of the money, half of the money. They brought the cars and something happened. The value of the cars fallen down. And they could able to get by realizing only $500,000 in total. So in here, there is a loss of remaining amount is 500,000 as well. So they made the money, they sold the cars, and they realized a loss. This 500,000 loss. Islamic Bank invested 800,000, but customer invested 200,000. And they agreed that the profit will be shared 75 to 25. So in here is that they will share the loss as well. If they share the profit, the same ratio should be applied for the sharing the loss. 75%, he will. It wouldn't be correct, and it wouldn't be justice if we take the all loss from the customer, and whatever is left, we will just compensate the Islamic Bank. So everything should be justified. So this 200,000, he lost 500,000. Means that the customer loses 75% of his money. And Islamic Bank will lose 25%. So they will get the compensation accordingly. Is that clear?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Because in here, we should not forget that 200,000 investment does not put below in ranking the customer, because the customer, he is the one who is managing this business. He is the one who comes with this idea. He is the active investor. But when it comes to the Islamic Bank, he is a passive investor. Okay. Here's the question. Please, can I ask you get piece of paper? Now, put your name and surname like last time we did it. You sent through the WhatsApp, and I want you to do it now. We have two questions. Example 1, example 2.
So it's kind of group or
no, individual. You're not. It's not a group. It's individual based now.
So we should calculate this?
Yes, you should calculate. For example, you should just fill this blank and send it to me.
Okay. We shall start?
Send it through the WhatsApp.
to your personal, you mean?
No, to the WhatsApp group. Send it to WhatsApp group.
Okay.
Can you please remind the name of the customer here in this musharaka agreement? Is it Mudarib or?
No. We are not talking about the mudaraba. There's a mudaraba, which is Rabul Mal, who is the one who submits the capital, and Mudarib, the one who is managing. In his just musharaka, is there the partners?
So there are no special names for that, right?
No, there is no.
Okay, thank you.
With calculation or just we can fill it out?
It's better with the calculation. If you show your calculations, please.
Okay.
Guys, don't send it immediately, this all. Send it when you feel the second question as well. Second question is here.
May I go back, please? Let me screen.
Yeah, just.
Can we find this presentation on Moodle?
Yes, I can make it. I can upload it now. Wait. I'll upload it immediately then. And by the way, guys, just want to remind you, on Tuesday, we'll have a quiz. It will be done through the Moodle. But before that Tuesday, I will ask you kindly in weekends to see the Moodle. I will remind you to see the Moodle trial quiz, okay? There will be a trial quiz. Then on Tuesday, we'll have the quiz, which will be based on multiple choices. Will be calculation, but multiple choices.
What will be the content?
Lecture number 4. This is lecture, we're gonna make it. Now it's available in the Moodle. You can download it if you want.
Could you return it? No, for the first.
Okay. So I want from you to fill what will be the Islamic bank investment. So to fill these gaps, okay? These class activities will be graded as well. So I have to get something to be graded.
And can you please show the second task quickly?
Okay, here you go. Just take a picture of it.
Thanks.
Sorry, how to calculate total value of assets?
Total value of the asset is the same as total investment.
Okay, thank you.
Извините, не могли бы, пожалуйста, сказать, что нужно сделать? У меня просто интернет-коннекшн разорвался, и сейчас опять подключается.
Okay, just fill these gaps, empty spaces in here.
Okay.
Calculate Islamic bank investment, total investment, profit share ratio, etc. The formulations are here.
Можете на второй example сделать, пожалуйста? Спасибо.
And send it to you by photo in WhatsApp?
Yeah,
Right.
yes, yeah. Write it manually and send it by WhatsApp.
Okay.
But don't send it separately. Send it as a one paper.
Okay.
Sorry, I have a question.
Yes, please.
So in the second example, there is no down payment from the customer. So it means 100% is by bank, right?
Very true.
Like on a second example,
Look, in the first example,
it's
Islamic
30% by the,
by the customer, yes. But
yeah, but
here,
in the second one,
read the careful. It says amount financed by Islamic Bank is 100%.
final. Okay,
So there is no down payment from customer, yeah?
That's very true.
John, what is the first of last installment amount?
Skip this part. It's not that. It's not important. Okay, skip it. It's just division of this together. Just skip it. Azamat, why you're sending second time?
I forget about the calculation.
Just delete the above one, okay? The first one.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, I'm waiting for others to send as well then.
I'm very shy. I have very bad writing.
You should be a doctor then. Okay, I think 1, 2, 3, 10. 3 people more. Okay, guys, who has submitted, you can be off the conference. And I will wait for the others to send when I receive it. Ademi is resending again. Ademi, if you resend it, please delete the previous one.
Okay, then
So
see you.
we will have lecture 5. Quiz number 2 by lecture 5.
Oops, sorry. I might be mistaken. Just let me check it. To be more confident, lecture. Yes, thank you so much. It's lecture 4, guys. It's lecture 4.
Okay.
It's a lecture 4. Quiz 2. Lecture 4. Multiple choice.
So we are free to go.
Now you're free to go. Yes, you're free to go. You can off. I'm waiting for others to just send it.
Okay. Good luck.
Thank you so
Okay,
much.
goodbye.
У меня есть
Goodbye.
вопросы. Можно спросить у вас?
Да, конечно.
По поводу вот этой программы, которую мы хотели скачать на прошлом уроке стата.
Мгм.
Я так и не смогла ее скачать. Я не смогла скачать вот эту программу «Параллель», потому что она платная, а пробная версия, она мало времени дает. Можно
Сколько времени дает?
Я вот еще... она, получается, она как-то... это 14 дней, но у меня, получается, она не скачивается каким-то образом. Я не знаю, что.
В принципе,
Просто первый раз это...
3-14. Попытайтесь еще раз. Там 14 дней там достаточно. Вам даже одного дня достаточно будет, чтобы результаты получить. Вам главное получить результаты.
Ага.
Да. Просто стату не надо устанавливать, она сама по себе работает.
И... Она сама по себе будет работать.
Конечно.
Ага. А потом я хотела спросить насчет midterm. У нас же на следующей неделе, да, будет midterm?
Нет, midterm второго у нас не будет. У нас будет term проект и class activity with quizzes.
Окей. Спасибо.
Квиз будет только по 4-му,
До свидания.
получается, слайду, да?
Да. This will be the last quiz. And we'll have the term project. And term project, everybody is going to present it.
Lecture